On Global TV News Express, Tinubu resumes duty after 2-week leave. On the foreign scene, China releases guideline for obesity diagnosis and treatment. And in sports, Ten Hag eyes victory against Mourinho's Fenerbahce. Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Express on Global Television. We're coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Queen Agaba. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and free to air on Nigecomsat. President Bola Tinubu has resumed duty as the Aso Rock Presidential Villa, Abuja. Pictures released Pictures released from the State House showed the president at his desk receiving a briefing from the chairman of the Federal Inland Revenue Service, Mr. Zach Adedeji. Tinubu arrived in Abuja on Saturday after a 2-week working vacation in the United Kingdom and France. A bill seeking to prohibit glass flaring in Nigeria, ensure compliance with international standards, and promote environmental sustainability may be listed for a second reading on the floor of the House of Representatives next week. The bill, sponsored by Babajimi Benson, seeks to encourage the utilization of natural gas resources to promote economic growth and reduce carbon emissions. Recall that the federal government had in 2022 launched the Nigerian Gas Flare Commercialization Program, an ambitious step aimed at achieving zero routine flaring within a decade. The government also ratified the Paris Climate Change Agreement and is now a signatory to the Global Gas Flaring Reduction Partnership Principles for Global Flare-Out by 2030, while committing to a national flare-out target by 2025. The chairman, All Progressives Congress APC, Abdullahi Ganduje, has thrown his weight behind Ondo State Governor and the governorship candidate of the party in the state's November 16th gubernatorial poll. At the APC Southwest Governors Forum meeting in Akure, the chairman urged all political leaders of the state to work in unity. Global Television's correspondent Kike Lomo-Okere reports from Akure.
Gathered in this hall are political leaders from Ogun, Ekiti, Ondo, and Lagos State. The national chairman of All Progressive Congress, Abdullahi Ganduje, says the meeting is to motivate the Ondo State governor and the governorship aspirant, Lucky Aiyedatiwa, in solidarity of the party. He urged the political leaders to ensure all hands are on desk to ensure free and fair election in the state.
Is to give you assurance that the party is solidly and 100% behind you.
Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu and Ekiti State Governor Abiodun Oyebanji appreciate all political leaders for throwing their weight behind the Ondo State governorship aspirant while appealing for unity in the party.
Well, so we're here, right, to ensure that we can have a full house assessment, of where we are politically, and we've seen that everybody, all stakeholders, were in attendance. But to also answer your question, assessment, Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa, in our view, because we also do peer review amongst ourselves, we know he's one of our most forward-looking governors.
Number two, we also have a duty to ensure that the achievement of Arakunrin Akeredolu is not reversed.
Ondo State Governor and the governorship aspirant, Lucky Aiyedatiwa, thanked the political leaders for supporting him while pledging that he will not disappoint them.
And I want to start by thanking the national chairman of our party for taking time out to be here. The chairman of Nigeria Governors Forum Southwest, His Excellency Babajide Sanwo-Olu, who scheduled this meeting at different times but could not hold. But this is the time, this is the day that the Lord has made for the meeting to hold. I want to thank you very much for your support at all times. All of you that has come from Lagos, all our leaders, starting from Baba Olusi and all the other leaders, the party chairman, everyone. I thank you very much.
It is the first election in the Southwest after the presidential election. It is expected that the political leaders will adopt and put into use all that have been discussed at the All Progressive Southwest Governors Forum's meeting. From Akure, Ondo State Capital, Kike Lomo Okeri, Global Television News.
The Minister of Defense, Mohammed Badaru, has stated that the federal government is committed to resolving farmer-herder clashes in Plateau State. Badaru, who spoke in Jos, the state capital, during a meeting with opinion leaders, traditional rulers and security agencies in Bassa local government area of the state, expressed concerns over ongoing violence despite efforts to address the issue. He emphasized that petitioning communities along ethnic or religious lines would be disastrous, vowing that the government would not entertain such demands. He further stressed the importance of living together harmoniously. The Defense Headquarters has dispelled reports that it appointed a senior officer as the acting Chief of Army Staff. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taurid Lagbaja, who has been on leave and out of the country since September, fueled speculations about his health. Refuting the reports in a statement, the Director of Defense Information, Brigadier General Tukur Gusau, says there is no provision for an acting Chief of Army Staff in the Armed Forces of Nigeria. The Standard Organization of Nigeria has alerted members of the public to desist from patronizing uncertified compressed natural gas (CNG) centers in order to safeguard their lives and properties. The agency's Director General, Dr. Ifeanyi Okeke, in a statement signed by Folusho Bolaji, the Director, Public Relations Directorate, says the public inevitable following the recent explosion at the NIPCO CNG refueling station in Benin City, Edo State. Dr. Okeke commiserated with those affected by the incident, stating that the agency would not tolerate any attempt to circumvent the laid out standards, guidelines, and procedures for the CNG conversion initiative. The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, has affirmed that it severally raided the personal house of the senator representing Kwara South, architect Lola Ashiru, as a drug joint for illicit drug dealers and users in Ilorin, Kwara State. The agency stated that the recent alleged attack of compromise and corruption against it by lawmakers were born out of vendetta and malice rather than based national interest. Following the failure of the lawmaker after 1 week to clarify his position on a weighty allegation made against him by the Anti-Narcotics Agency, the NDLEA says it was left with no option but to come out to set the record straight for the benefit of other distinguished members of the Senate, its local and international partners, as well as the public. Kogi State Governor Usman Ododo has sworn in newly elected chairman and vice chairman of the 21 local government areas in the state. Governor Ododo, who presided over the swearing-in ceremony at the banquet hall of the Government House, Lokoja, charged the chairman and the vice to be dedicated in serving the people they represent. He further urged them to sustain the tempo of development at the grassroots by embarking on projects and programs that will improve the lives of the people as well as ensuring security of lives and property. The governor added that they should key into significant signature programs of his administration in the areas of health, agriculture, social welfare, and empowerment initiatives to transform the lives of the people in their respective local government areas. The Yobe State Police Command says it has apprehended 54-year-old Hamsatu Modu of Morami village in Jakana, Konduga local government area of Borno State with 350 rounds of ammunition. This was contained in a statement signed by the Public Relations Officer of the Command, DSP Dungus Abdul Karim. According to the statement, the suspect was arrested by the police operatives, a divisional police headquarters in Damaturu, the state capital, and is currently undergoing interrogation as investigators work to unravel the criminal network and motives behind the trafficking. The Commissioner of Police, CP Garba Ahmed, reaffirmed the command's commitment to combating crime and urged community members to sustain their cooperation with security agencies. Similarly, Sokoto State Police Command has cracked down on a kidnapping syndicate, arresting the prime suspect, 18-year-old Abba Aliu, who is a neighbor to the complainant from the Badon Hanya area of Sokoto State. A statement by the spokesman of the command, ASP Ahmed Rufai, says on October 16, 2024, Ibrahim Shehu reported that to the anti-kidnapping unit attached to the Criminal Investigation Department, Sokoto, that his son, 2-year-old Saidu Ibrahim, had gone missing since October 13, 2024. The Commissioner of Police, CP Ahmed Musa, further reiterated the command's commitment to combating crime and praised personal efforts in ensuring the successful arrest of the suspect. The Nigeria Immigration Service says it has deployed advanced e-border solutions to over 80 crossing points across the country in its ongoing efforts to enhance border security and curb trans-border crimes. The Comptroller General of the Service, Kemi Nandap, disclosed this during a visit to its head office in Abeokuta, Ogun State. Nandap noted that the deployment marked the first phase of the e-border project, a critical step in modernizing border surveillance and control in Nigeria. You're watching News Express on Global Television, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. When News Express returns, Ten Hag eyes victory against Mourinho's Fenerbahce. Details of this, as well as foreign stories and sports stories, coming after this break. Please stay with us. Many thanks for staying with us. If you've just joined us, this is Global Television bringing you live broadcast of the News Express. In business, the Minister of Power, Adebayo Adelabu, has said that private entities will need up to 750 naira to generate 1 kilowatt per hour of electricity because of the high cost of petrol. Adelabu says power generation will cost 950 naira per kilowatt per hour for those using diesel-powered engines. These, he argued, are more expensive than the 209 naira per kilowatt-hour being paid by Band A customers. Speaking at a recent function in Lagos, the minister emphasized that though customers were kicking against the Band A tariff, they knew it was still cheaper compared to generating their own power with petrol or diesel. No fewer than 4 vessels carrying imported premium motor spirit, popularly called petrol, arrived at seaports situated along the nation's borders between Friday, October 18th and Sunday, October 20th. According to a document obtained from the Nigerian Port Authority, about 123.4 million liters of premium motor spirit were berthed at 2 seaports to improve fuel supply nationwide. Reports say the oil dealers intend to import the commodity to supplement the supply from the $20 billion Dangote Petroleum Refinery. On the foreign scene, China's National Health Commission has released its first set of guidelines to standardize the diagnosis and treatment of obesity. According to the guidelines issued by the Commission over the past years, China has witnessed an upward trend in the morbidity rate of its overweight and obese population. As an independent disease and a major causative factor for multiple chronic diseases, obesity has become a major public health issue in China. Senegalese Prime Minister Ousmane Sonko is calling on voters to give his PASTEF party an overwhelming majority in the West African nation's November 17th legislative elections to release him and the president's plan to transform the state. The Prime Minister told supporters at a pre-election rally in the capital Dakar that President Bassirou Diomaye Faye needs the electoral victory if he is to implement his policies. A search and rescue mission has been launched after a multi-story building collapsed in Kahawa West area, Nairobi. Police say they're not certain if there were people trapped under the rubble after the incident. Locals had detected the weakness in the building and had mobilized residents to evacuate. In sports now, Erik ten Hag says he is relishing this week's Europa League shutdown with Jose Mourinho, calling the former Manchester United boss an example of many managers. United head to Istanbul this week to take on Fenerbahce, which means a reunion with Mourinho, who joined the Turkish club in June following his sacking by Roma. The Portuguese is one of the most decorated managers in history. While he proved a divisive figure at United during his tenure from 2016 to 2018, he won the League Cup and Europa League. Bayern Leverkusen star Victor Boniface has survived a crash in Germany. The incident, which involved a lorry, saw the Nigerian international forward rushed to the hospital. The 23-year-old had scored in Leverkusen's 2-1 Bundesliga victory over Eintracht Frankfurt on Saturday, but ended up in a collision with damages worth up to £167,000. Boniface posted a video of the damaged car on his Instagram stories, showing one of his hands dripping blood after the crash. In the video, the black car sustained significant damage to the right side, with the body severely affected. Galatasaray were amazed by Victor Osimhen's bicycle kick goal in Saturday's 3-0 win at Antalyaspor, with the Turkish champions describing the effort as more than a photograph, but a work of art. The Nigeria striker delivered a spectacular effort that will stay unforgettable in the annals of global football to round off the scoring for the visitors 2 minutes into added time in the Super League. The Super League game Week 9 encounter at Corendon Airlines Park, Antalya. As we end the Global News Express, let's look at some of our top stories. Tinubu has resumed his duties after 2-week leave. On the foreign scene, China has released guidelines for obesity diagnosis. In sports, Ten Hag eyes victory against Mourinho's Fenerbahce. That's it on the News Express, and it came to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365, Star Times channel 276, and free to air on Nigecomsat. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms using @GlobalTVNG and other handles now showing on your screen. I'm Queen Agaba. Thank you for watching and see you again.